Welcome back aboard BLERD Force 1 with your boys Mo and Ladi. And today we are reviewing My Adventures with Superman Season 2, Episode 3. It's entitled Full Metal Scientist and it's coming to you from Max and on Cartoon Network. So what did we think about it and should you be watching? And before we get into this review, get down there, hit like on this video. Ladi, this episode was called Full Metal Scientist, and I knew that was for you because I know you're a Full Metal Alchemist fan, and it's pretty clear that that's true of these people too. They like anime, so I was like, I know this is for you. But this is we got John Henry Irons in this piece, aka Steel, before Steel, but we also have. Surprise, he works for a really shitty industrialist that doesn't give a crap about anything but, turning a profit and puts the world in danger. Because they're trying to make those little robots that we saw beating up Superman in the previous season. But also, we got something I didn't know that we would want, which is Vicki Vale and Lois Lane. It's like the Flash and Superman racing to see who's faster. They're racing to see who can get the scoop, right? And it was really pretty cool. So but overall, the industrialist is causing a problem, and in the background there's some Lex Luthor shenanigans. So Ladi, man, what'd you think about this episode?
Well, I liked it. Of course, My Adventures with Superman since episode I want to say 3 of last season. Every episode has been a hit. I really like this one. Like you said, it was showing a little thing of Lois and her having their little anime moment. I kind of wish they would have had that little thing that they used to do. I know you know what I'm talking about in the 80s and the 90s where they'll rub cheeks and run together. I really wish they would have did that. It's something that we haven't seen in anime in a while, but if they really wanted to get classic anime fans having flashbacks, I think every classic anime did it. Pokemon did it, Dragon Ball did it, Naruto did it. It was a 90s / early 2000s trope where two people who are rivals or trying to get somewhere before the other, they will get right up on each other's face and be cheek to cheek running together. Freaking what's the call did it? You remember the McDonald's commercial, the McDonald's anime commercial? They literally did it. It's such a big staple in anime. They kind of missed their little moment there, but yeah, I liked it. I like that. Like you said, I really like how they added Irons, Dr. Irons into the show, and they didn't make him. They actually made him look like a more modern black dude. You know what I mean, with the full beard, tall, muscular, maybe got a little bit of a gut, but I was like, oh man,
he had earring studs in too.
Yeah, and I was like, he's looking more like a modern, you know what I mean, instead of what we usually see him as, the token black dude. He looks like his character actually has more what's the word I'm trying to use? Has more flair to it. He actually looks like someone that's more interesting. And I think we all know they've done a really good job of representing, black people in this series so far.
Yeah. Did you notice we had Cyborg's dad was also in it?
Oh yeah, Cyborg's dad was in it, which, like I said, he looks more. They're doing a better job of not every. You know how it was back in the day. You either had 1 or 2 haircuts. You either had cornrows.
You had a Caesar.
You were bald.
You're Caesar.
Bald. Yeah. They gave him dreads. You know what I mean? They're doing a better job, and I like. I really enjoyed that. I really really enjoyed it. And of course, we have the little thing of Lois still refusing to listen to Clark about what he wants to talk to her about.
Yeah. And then they're dealing with General Lane being a lazy ass layabout because I guess he's used to people picking up after him. I think one thing I really like the whole Lois and Vicki Vale thing. That was dope. And it also showcases why this show works so well, because it's not just about Clark. It's also about, Jimmy, and also about Lois. So they both kind of get their own little story. Jimmy is, he's arguing with Flip about her wanting to have a drone and do cover a robot thing, and then and it turns out that she's actually the niece of John Henry Irons, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's connective tissue. They're built like, I love that they build the lore out in this. When people show up, it's not just like it seems random, and then you're like, oh, actually they're connected to this. Oh, actually they're connected to that. So seeing those two prominent scientists, black scientists, and how they're basically trying to be whistleblowers against this this corporation that's trying to use those basically Kryptonian tech, but they're endangering the city. That was pretty dope. But I would think one thing is, if you see John Henry Irons, you got to see Steel, right? And I like that they went with a more reasonable kind of technology and not just some form-fitting metal suit, but it's actually like a kind of a mech suit that he puts on, and he even swings his hammer. And like I'm gonna tell you, this one of my highlight of the episode was, and I knew they were gonna do it, but John Henry swinging that damn hammer, like with no mech suit, just himself swinging that hammer. And I was like, you know what, y'all know what you're doing, because John, of course he's named after John Henry, the folk hero. So to have him literally save the city by swinging that hammer, like, that made so much damn sense to me. And you know what, we've kind of shortchanged Clark a little bit. It seemed like this wasn't really his episode, but it really was, because he was fighting a lot. He's getting his licks in, but also he's trying to turn in this story to Perry that he keeps forgetting about because of dealing with Lois and dealing with her dad.
And he got a new power.
Yes, he got a new, and it's dope. Like, I love that he's literally an anime magic girl. Like, can we just admit that? We just admit that he's Sailor Moon, essentially. Because every time he's just like, oh shit, I got a new power, dope. And he's so now he can extend a force field around people, which is cool. Like, I think that's cool, because Ladi, most people think Superman just punches the shit out of stuff, right? Rescues kittens, punch the shit out. He has a protective power for a change. Not just, he doesn't just have to stand in the way of something. He can literally encase somebody in a protective shield. And I think that that's a cool little power. I don't know how you feel about it.
Yeah. I was like, oh, look at this, is cool. Now he actually has a power to protect people. You know what I mean? It will make more sense when he's flying faster than the speed of freaking sound with somebody, that they don't get torn to pieces because they're being covered by that energy thing. But also, I do have to say this about Irons. At the end of the episode, when he had to give back the suit, I was like, thank God, because I was like, get out of that suit, man. That suit does not deserve.
It didn't look cool. It looked like a really scaled down Gundam, like an RX, an RX-01, and a really scaled down RX-01. And if you know, you know. If I say RX-01, and you know, if you know, you know. Yeah, but he's just gonna like, he's just gonna make something else cool. Also, Clark's little thing at the end where he writes the story, that the front page kind of giving John Henry, all the props for like helping save the day. That's, man, if that ain't Superman, I don't know what is. Like, I don't even want to say how anymore. They just get it. The writers on this show, they get it. They are delivering to me the Superman that I want, and I think the world needs right now. I think the proof is in the pudding, that when people finally start watching the show, they're into it. It's just, wholesome's not a good enough word. It is Superman distilled into its best form, and I love it. I mean, I could keep going on. Ladi, they're doing the Lord's work. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, let's just be honest and say it. I mean, it's like you just said. I haven't met a single person who actually has watched the show say anything bad about it. It is a good show. Like, I enjoy watching each and every episode. I cannot wait until Kara gets put into the show, because I just know that dynamic is going to be hilarious. And then this woman from Gotham's just going to be like, "Hey, Lois, you want to give me here's a job," and I think she's going to take it.
You know, could be.
This is and guess what? Anime version of World Finest. I'm calling it right now. That phone is about to be picked up. Watch.
I feel like
anime version of World Finest.
I feel like they don't put Batman in this, but maybe Batwoman or Batgirl. Maybe Batwoman. Batwoman will be cool because you get Kara Zor-El into it with Batgirl or Batwoman. That's essentially World's Finest. Also, we'll see. I'm not counting on it because I think putting Batman in this takes away from Superman. But I think we shall see. But overall, I think we both really like this episode. So, but what did you guys think about this episode? What did you think about what we had to say? Get down to the comments section, leave your thoughts there. And of course, you can always hit us up, supernotfunnyshow@gmail.com, blerd_force1 on Instagram and on Threads, super_not_funny_show on TikTok. And while you're down there, do us a favor, hit like on this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. All that good stuff helps grow this channel, helps more people to see videos just like this. All right, thanks for joining us. Come back next week. We're going to talk about episode 4 of My Adventures with Superman. Till then, I've been Mo, your commenter extraordinaire on all things pop culture, joined by the anime expert, video game designer, and lover of all things superhero, my good friend Ladi. And we'll see you guys on the other side of the thread. Peace.
Peace.
Thank you.